Hello and welcome back to another vlog by the Chief and myself. Today is Monday, the 1st of June. It's about 20 of 1 in the afternoon. Another episode of working to keep the village peaceful and secure. Over to you, Chief.
Thank you, Chip. Well, in the wake of everything that's happening with COVID-19, we had another major incident that took place in Minnesota last week. And I'd like to share my comments on that with the community. Again, in the wake of the senseless killing of George Floyd at the hands of law enforcement officers in Minneapolis, I'd like to take a moment to share my thoughts regarding this tragic incident. First and foremost, my thoughts go out to the Floyd family as they deal with the loss of a loved one. I want to be perfectly clear in my statement that the Carmel Police Department, nor any other police chief or agency that I've spoke with, condones the actions taken by the officers in Minnesota. We fully expect and support justice for the Floyd family through the legal process. Personally, I am sickened by what I've seen in the videos, and I'm deeply concerned about the actions the officers took. Although this incident happened 2,000 miles away, it is still a reflection of law enforcement. I understand that there is great anger out in the communities regarding this incident, and I support it. We should be angry about it. This was an unnecessary killing of a person. I'm concerned, though, that through this anger, that the message that we want is being lost at the hands of those who are using this as an opportunity to steal, damage property, and injure others. Right now, we need to come together as a community and begin a serious conversation that is overdue. It's a conversation about police tactics, law enforcement mental health, and police race relations in America. To do so, we need to work together in peace. When I was hired as your police chief, I shared with you my philosophy on positive community relationship building, and I think it's appropriate to address that again today. The first pillar that supports this was trust. Our actions as police officers are meant to build trust in the community. We cannot be effective in our jobs if we don't have your trust, and if you don't trust us. The actions taken by the police officers in Minnesota damage some of that trust that we've worked so hard to build. Our job moving forward is to continue providing professional services to our community to try and rebuild some of that lost trust. The second pillar I talked about was respect. As police officers, we understand the responsibility that comes with wearing this badge. We are entrusted to protect and serve, and with that comes great responsibility. It's a responsibility that's essential to our profession. The officers in Minnesota chose to no longer follow the law enforcement code of ethics, which discuss respect. They no longer respected the community they worked for. The third pillar I discussed was love. And it's perhaps the least recognized or talked about pillar, but it's probably the most important one. Police officers have to love their communities and love helping people. Love encompasses things like empathy and compassion. These are necessary when dealing with people, no matter what the circumstance. We have to be able to look at people without judgment, without fear or prejudice. We have to be able to treat people with compassion and respect regardless of the circumstances. As written in our law enforcement code of ethics, which every officer swore to uphold, it states, "I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence." Without love or compassion or empathy, we cannot do our jobs effectively. I assure you that the law enforcement officers in the Carmel Police Department follow these three pillars. As a law enforcement professional, we need to recognize when we have officers in our agencies that no longer have these three pillars, no longer have compassion, no longer have empathy, and recognize that they may be suffering mental illness. We need to have the courage. whether we're standing there watching an incident happen or we recognize these signs and symptoms that an officer might be having that will lead them down this path, to step in and take action. I assure you, as your police chief, if we have anybody in our agency that is moving in this direction, we will take action to get them help and keep them off the street from injuring people. As your police chief, I am committed to it working throughout the state and throughout our country to send a message that we need to take a look at police tactics, we need to look at police officer wellness, and we need to look at race relations in America to improve what we're trying to accomplish. And it is those three pillars we're trying to accomplish. We want to build positive relationships in our communities where you trust us, you respect us, and you love us. That's what we're striving for. So I thank you for your time and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Chief. Very well said. Thank you for your leadership. It's without par. I'm very grateful for you and your leadership.
Thank you.
We do understand that there may be gatherings and or demonstrations planned for the village in the coming weeks. It's my request that you please consider contacting us, either the chief at our police department or me here at City Hall, so that we can help support your peaceful demonstration. It's a request, and it's a very earnest one at that. I think we'll come back on Wednesday, Paul, and we'll talk. The council meets tonight and tomorrow night. We'll have a budget update and some other items. And why don't we come back on Wednesday and update the community on the council's actions and maybe the governor's actions as well, sir.
Correct.
So, thank you again, Paul.
Thank you.
Take good care.
Thank you.